Our next guest is Dean Tosic, who is CEO of JonDeTech. With him on stage, he has Christopher Lindström, who is partner at C Venture and CSO at MarketZoo. We also have our equity analyst, Jesper von Koch. Jesper, could you please give us a brief introduction to JonDeTech?
Of course. JonDeTech is a nanotechnology company that designs and sells ionized nanosensors, so specifically designed for the presence detection use case. And the sensors also allows like heat flow and contactless temperature detection. And so the sensors are designed in-house and then produced through an outsourced partner. And as of this year, JonDeTech has also a software offering around the same technology. So with that said, could you just go through like JonDeTech, like where do you come from and what is going on right now and what are you going into? Because I know there's a lot of things happening.
That's a big question to answer, but thank you for that. I think that JonDeTech is coming from, of course, basically the nanotechnology field. We have an invention and a technology product platform, basically, where we're building a product, an IR sensor based on nanotechnology, which we are now putting into production readiness, so to say, to reach commercialization. So that is the basic, and that's where we're coming from. We've done that for a while, and we're, of course, struggling with new technology. New technology is always difficult to work with, especially when it's groundbreaking, coming from science, moving into commercialization. And this is basically what we have been working with for some time. What we are doing now is that we are transforming the company from being a deep tech company with one product that we're targeting to expanding the portfolio both with new products but also with packaging our knowledge that we have as services and reusing the software components that we have built over the years together with customers and selling that as well.
All right. So let's dig into like where you come from and the way to like high volume production of your own sensor elements. Like that has been going on for a while, and you have a clearly specified roadmap for it. But where are we now, and when do you expect to ramp volumes on that part?
Absolutely. Then we need to go back a bit on what we are actually trying to achieve here. What we did a number of years back was to start the basic formation of the product design and taking that into design which could be produced in high volumes, right? And to achieve that, you need to go through a number of steps. We decided a couple of years back that we will go full fabless, which means we have now outsourced the whole production line. So our main competence is the product development and the product design part, but we're also working very close to our partners in the product readiness phase to set up the whole production line. What we have done now lately is that we moved the last parts of the production line to our partner in Germany, a Swiss company with operations in Germany. We are looking at establishing that and getting the first products out quite soon in that new setup that we have built up with them. The steps you take in order to get to a commercial product is, as we have explained earlier as well, reaching what we call a working sample. A working sample is important because that is the first kind of product that actually works, that comes out from the production line. So this is the next step in the process as we see it. After that, we move into the engineering sample, and that we can achieve when we have produced at least 3 batches with a yield which is sufficient and with functionality which is good enough, so to say, for sending the product to our customers for prototyping and for testing and so on. Now the next step in that process to reach a commercial product is to do the long-term testing of the product, basically looking at how does it react to heat, to cold, to electromagnetic impact, to mechanical impact and so on, so that we can guarantee the functionality over time as well. So when we have done that work, then we reach the commercial product which we can sell in high volumes.
I get. So, and how much of that, like this development that is still like left to do, how much of that is in your hands versus in those of Varioprint's, like your production partner?
Yeah, our production partner Varioprint, we have a development agreement with them. So basically, we have a joint project where they are adding their very deep industrialization competence in building product lines in the PCB industry. Together with our team, our engineering are working very closely. I mean, we have people on site and interacting very much to solve the problems that we see and the challenges that we see when we introduce new products, new technology into, so to say, an existing PCB environment. So I would say that in the development stage, which we are in now, we are sharing the burden in that sense, and we're sharing also the knowledge with each other due to the agreement we have in place. Later on, when we have actually managed to get into a more commercial phase, it will be more of a supplier agreement in that sense. But then we will most likely work together closely to look at other applications, because the nanotechnology platform as such is not only for IR sensors. We can use it for heat flux, we can use it for other types of measurements and sensors.
All right, Christopher.
I find this move with the software part really interesting. Could you just elaborate how that would work and the new partnership with the company in Taiwanese, I believe? Could you just elaborate on that?
Yeah. We announced that we are broadening the portfolio, and part of that is, of course, the software components that we've been building up. And the main idea is that after a number of years working with different customers and making sure that our sensor elements are being built into their products, and then working with fine-tuning software and developing software to get it all to work, we realized that this is a know-how that we actually have in-house that we need to somehow show the world that we do have, and also package it and sell it, because when we go to market, we go to the large module houses, because there you can find the volumes, but we also go to product companies. There we see less volume, but we see a very fast-moving customer who can actually provide us with proof of concepts and so forth quite soon. However, some of these potential customers, they don't have the capacity to actually build their own software. They don't know about sensor, how to use the sensor data. So that is one thing we can add. Another thing we can add is actually the knowledge around embedded hardware, how to actually integrate our sensors into their product. So this is what we now are packaging and providing as services. And in that, we have the components of software which we have been developing over the years, and adding that to the package.
Now, how will the model work? Is it like a SaaS software sale, or is it more like a license, or how will it work?
We are mostly looking at having some kind of license around that. So that is the model now. It is case by case at the moment, and we're exploring on how the business models can look like. I mean, our main product is still the sensor element that we're producing and providing. So this is to support that business, to make our sensor elements possible to be bought by more wide customer range.
And what are we talking about if we're looking at the time frame? Because this is obviously shortening your time to market and perhaps also monetization. So could you talk about when could we see first NRE development income, but also licensing fees and so on?
Well, we have two timelines, because now we have obviously two products in our portfolio. We have the Gyros 10, which is the new sensor element which we have designed and sourced, which is commercially available now. That we are out selling today. So hopefully the lead time for actually seeing some kind of commercial deals on that will be quite short. When it comes to our main product, our own sensor, the nanotechnology sensor, we will during this summer have the first products out from the new product line. We will need to test them, evaluate them, make sure that we have the level of output that we need from it, and then decide what is the timeline moving forward in order to reach engineering sample and commercial sample as well. Because when we reach the engineering sample, that is when we can actually start commercialize it by doing prototyping and so forth with customers. I will not give you a timeline for that now. However, we see very promising results in setting up the new pilot line. We have done a lot of quality improvements in the different production steps together with Varioprint, and it looks very promising as we see it right now.
And I mean, you obviously took up a loan from different investors and consortium, and I think the payback date is in November, if I read correctly. How are you looking at the current financial position and the need for liquidity? Because a lot of the things you talk about still lies ahead after, I would say, the 20th of November.
Absolutely, and this is something the board is actively looking into and working with. So that's what I can say when it comes to the funding and financing of the company. However, I hope that the new product that we're introducing will support the funding of the company, of course, with generating revenues quite soon.
To have some type of traction or show profits from that before.
At least show that we can generate profit. I don't say that we will, fully fund the company with that, but that it's a starting point, and then we need to grow that business as well. Yeah.
And so, I mean, could you just talk about like the potential commercial parts? I mean, you've had O-Film as a potential partner and a specific use case for them, but like where do you see like both? Like in terms of like O-Film for the like the original sensor element, but also like through the new software offering, and
I think the interesting part about the customer side of the company is that the customers we've talked to over the years are still there. They're still interested because obviously with the nanotechnology we're introducing something new in the market, which could be quite unique, and that is attracting the big module houses as well, because they see that they can, if this goes the whole way, they can introduce something unique in the market. So O-Film has verified quite recently that they are still with us in this. The projects we've been running jointly in order to verify that the market application is there for our GIRS 30 product, that they have basically told me up front when I spoke to them just a few weeks back, that is still valid. So this is encouraging, and we see now that they also have an interest in the new products that we're introducing. So this is also what we're pushing both with O-Film but with other module houses and other product companies as well.
All right. Do you have any final?
No, really fine.
All right. So, is there anything like? Do you have any summarizing words like about like what investors could expect of JonDeTech going forward?
I think that the most important thing to me is transparency and progress, and of course that goes hand in hand. Whenever we see progress in the company, we reach our milestones. We should be very clear what that milestone is about and what kind of value that brings to the company, because we really need to bring value to the table as a company, and this is also what we see by using different assets that we have, not only the nanotechnology, but the knowledge that we have, the partnerships that we have, the ecosystem we are building around the company. That is also value that we need to bring forward, and I think that it will be an exciting time moving forward, definitely.
Thank you so much, Dan, Christopher, and Jesper for this great talk about JonDeTech.